Hello, and welcome to MS Journey with Christopher. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit more about my symptoms and what they look like, and part of my journey up until it is now with MS, anyways. Since my diagnosis is relatively new, I'd like to talk a little bit about some of my more severe symptoms and when they started, and between a little bit of timeline. So, between July 2011 and December 2016, both in July and December 2016, July 2011, I made trips to San Francisco. Now, on the first one, July 2011, I spent an entire day sick with vertigo. A lot of people that get vertigo, they understand. If you have MS, you'll understand a little bit too if you get vertigo. You look up too fast, you get dizzy, whip your head back and forth. You're like, what'd you say? And you turn your head and you go down. I go down like once a week due to vertigo. It's terrible. So it's something to definitely adjust for. But then 2016, I took a Christmas trip to San Francisco with my family, my kids, wanted to show them the city and everything decorated for Christmas, and we ended up spending Christmas in Pismo Beach. Long family story. We just wanted to go and enjoy ourselves. But between the two, in 2011, I could walk and navigate just fine. All I had was that vertigo, and I was down for the day. Next day, it was like it never happened. I felt fine. It was the strangest thing ever. I couldn't explain it. My wife at the time thought it was the weirdest thing. It just really kind of messed with me. Now, in 2016, December, I took my little ones. At this point, I had a daughter and my son, a little bit older, so we went to San Francisco, and at this point my gait was affected. It was wintertime, but anytime my internal body temperature would get hot, anytime I'd spend too much time walking, I'd get tired. I was getting fatigued all the time. Brain fog, I had no idea. Going back well before July 2011, I'd been diagnosed with GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, probably clear back as far as 2008, somewhere in there roughly. And so my anxiety over this was also going up. My symptoms were compounding. Those of you with MS understand. And I say that, but other people with other illnesses also understand. You get vertigo, brain fog, fatigue. I mean, these can be a lot of symptoms, but if you get these symptoms or have another illness, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So anyways, the December 2016, we were walking. Anyone that's been to San Francisco knows that you can easily walk miles in the course of a morning. It just is a city that you don't drive around a lot. Most people can't afford public transportation or taxis, but San Francisco has great public transportation system, the buses and the trolley lines and everything else. So anyways, getting on and off the trolleys, walking around, I was really limited what I could take my family and show them. I showed them Fisherman's Wharf and all the Christmas stuff, Union Square, but I just couldn't get out and walk around a whole lot. After 2016, that December, things started really escalating for me. I got back. I had a switch of business partners at some point. I'm going to have to remember the year, but business and my home life were both very stressful. I had two serious stressors. So the stress was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we all know that we've got to be able to get away from stress. Stress is part of everyday life, but it was literally slowly killing me. That's how bad it was. And with my anxiety was just compounding and getting worse and worse and worse. My anxiety looks like anger. I have driven away family, friends, just about everybody close in my life, because when my anxiety comes out as anger and everyone takes it personal. And I don't know how to change it. I've been working on it. I've been trying to be PMA. I am switching my way of thinking. I don't like to use words like hate and certain things like that. Just really trying to bring a positive vibe. But anyways, that's what my anxiety looks like. I have medication. It's being treated right now. But my walking and gait really, really, really started just kicking up my anxiety and my fear. I had no idea what was wrong. Anybody that has a gait or walking issue, think back to when it first started. Did you know what the onset was? Did you know what the problem was? For me, everything was completely unexplained, and I received more questions than answers. Questions that I just couldn't answer. I had no idea. And there was people trying to explain to me about my health care. Oh, you need to talk to the doctor. You need to do this. You need to do that. Well, I had been going to the doctor like I explained. I was trying. I just started telling people I didn't know what was going on and I wasn't worried about it. I was worried about it and I was trying to figure out what was going on behind the scenes. I just was fearful and I didn't want to talk about it because I had no answers. Everybody has an answer, which is hard. You've got to learn to accept it and go with it. When you have an issue such as walking, gait, you haven't had MRIs, you don't know what's going on, you're fearful, you're scared. But this is, I can't say it enough. It was between July 2011 and my diagnosis in, let's see, this is 2018. Let me go back to my notes here. 8/6/18. My diagnosis was 9/6/18. So between probably July 2011 and 2018, that's 7 years of just living in fear, being scared, trying to figure it out, doing everything you can. With brain fog and all those other things, your mind really becomes your worst enemy. However, now I know what's going on. I'm medicated. I'm trying to get out and definitely being more positive. But those are what my symptoms really started to look like, and it was very hard for me. At home, with my gait, walking issues, household chores became difficult. Cleaning the garage, mowing the lawn. I had a reasonably decent sized lawn at the time. Just I couldn't mow the entire lawn without taking 3-4 breaks. Same thing at work. At work, I ran a care home for developmentally disabled adults. We used to go on hikes, walk, we'd play basketball, go to music in the park during the summer. I ended up not being able to do most of these things. My business partner took all the guys in the house that lived with us off hiking and to the national forests around us and all these beautiful things. I just couldn't walk. We could go on drives. We could go on short little waterfall hikes. There's a lot where I live. There's a lot of waterfalls. But I couldn't really go anywhere. If the hike was longer than a quarter mile, I couldn't do it depending on how hard it was. Couldn't play sports. We lived in town, walking distance to music in the park and activities to the town's largest park. I couldn't walk there. So these things really started to develop and started making me feel worse and not knowing. I wasn't able to exercise at the time because I'd get hot and I didn't know what was wrong. So with all this being said, what reminded me of all this is on Twitter the other day, there was a tweet that I read from someone that said, what is more challenging, accepting or adjusting to MS? For me, it's hard. I would say accepting. I went so many years not accepting because I didn't know. I had no idea what was wrong. And it's been very hard for me to accept this. A lot of people understand what it takes and what you mentally go through when you have to give up your business. You give up your livelihood. You give up your ability to drive. You give up everything in your life that made you you and have to rebuild yourself. A lot of fear and being scared comes with that. But maybe there's good things in the future. I'm sure there is. But for now, all we can do is just remember that we've got to overcome the fear and not think of being so fearful. Before I end this, I would like to remind everybody to please share, like, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Please be notified. Let everybody know. Anybody that might be able to help, if you would like to open a dialogue, feel free to comment. Email me with any questions. My email in the link does not work. You have to copy and paste the email, but it's there. Email me any questions. Let's open a dialogue. What did your MS look like? How scared and fearful were you? How long did you go undiagnosed? Please let me know, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.